how proud are you of this group for battling through all they did this whole season, the ups and the downs, and going up in a game like this, in a series where you're underdogs, and really giving this Colts team everything you had?
Yeah, I don't think the 4-1 series result first is any indication of really how we played. I thought we were in every single game right up until that last one. But again, resiliency has been something we've talked about all year, and I'm really glad to see the character come out in those guys. Way to finish strong. And there's ups and downs, peaks and valleys in every single season, and all the adversity that we faced. I think the message was that it's just opportunity in disguise, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves when our backs were up against a wall, and how we handled ourselves within our adversity. But the positive things are something that can't be erased. I think that's something that you're going to take with you for a long time. And we tried to point out the positives. I think there was 8 players on our team that set career highs, single season highs in the OHL for statistics. We had a franchise record best start right up until Christmas, first time that we ever swept a northern road trip. I mean, there was a lot of good things that we accomplished, obviously in a tale of 2 different seasons, but you got to hold your head up high, because that's something every single day. I went into work not taking it for granted, never knowing what type of opportunities are ever going to be taken from you or handed to you. I mean, that's something that I'm going to cherish with me every single day. Hopefully getting to come here and finish the job here next year, I think, is going to be something important. But tonight is more of a time about reflection, and you want to think about all the positive things rather than the negative things. And truly feels like it was special to coach a lot of those kids who have got bright futures both on and off the ice.
And you talked about how tough the second half was to be able to get through some really tough months there, and even against this Barrie Colts team in the regular season, only 1 win in the 6 games, but you had them playing probably their best hockey here in this playoff series that nobody really gave you a chance in, and you really could have won any of the first 4 games. You had 2 third-period comebacks, including tonight, that this young group can build from. So what's your message to the guys after this series alone about how much they grinded and battled and showed that this was not a normal 2-7 matchup?
Yeah, I mean, those are things that you have to expect as far as to take with you. So our goal was to make the playoffs this year. We accomplished that, and then our goal next year is to obviously take some bigger strides. And the players that are going to be on this team that went through this process is going to realize what it takes to win. And we talked about all the bruises, the bumps, all that stuff, and that's going to be very useful going forward in the playoffs. We started, the postseason with only 65 games of playoff experience, 62 of which came from the defensemen. You take 20 guys in the lineup and you play 5 games. You do the math. I mean, that's over 100 games of playoff experience you just added, and that's how you continue to go. And Barrie had 2 players with 100 games of experience alone in the last 2 years. So, we were up against, a big team that was all in, and I thought the way that we showed up and was valiant. And, from some individuals at the same standpoint, I mean, I thought Paris and Asadorian and Lashko and Rubrick and Kevin and Virgilio were, some of our best players, and that's what you need. You got to give yourself a chance when you're best player. So, it's a head up high type scenario, even though it's really tough and painful in any type of losing cause, but there's a lot to be proud of this year.
What's the lasting message to Owen Flores? Your team MVP this year, gave you all he had, went out for a month, came back for the playoffs, and, was just your rock back there. Another 40-plus save performance to keep them in it all the way to the end. What's your lasting message to Flo as he moves on to his next part of his hockey career?
Yeah, he's going to have a terrific hockey career because he's a terrific hockey player. And, that much I know for sure. And the future may be uncertain for him right now, but I hope there's some clarity over the next few months as far as what his next path is. And, everything that we've been grateful for, or we take pride in, to be able to say, hey, we accomplished this, we accomplished that. I mean, if it wasn't for Owen Flores, I don't know if we'd be able to say that. And, thank God for our lucky stars. We had an MVP, somebody like him to be right in the center of it. And I hope anybody in the hockey world sees Owen Flores the exact same way that I have. And he's a difference maker. It doesn't matter what team you put in. I look forward to seeing what type of career path he takes next. But anybody, any organization would be lucky to have somebody like that, because I know I was.
And lastly, for you, Coach, personally, your first full season behind the bench with this team, getting them to play the system that you wanted, the type of style that you want to play as a coach, and really getting them to buy into how they needed to play. Great first half. You made the CHL top 10 power rankings. first place in the Eastern Conference in the first half, and then obviously when the trade deadline hit, all those teams loaded up, and you kind of went lower in the standings. But for you personally, how proud were you to get this team back to the playoffs, to see those 2 playoff games at home, great crowds, and more personally, just being able to lift this team up?
Yeah, like I said, I can hold my head up high because I know, what we put into the season, and it does mean a lot from a personal level. I think it's been well documented all year, but as we set out to reach a goal, and we accomplished it. And what stability does in a franchise and an organization, when you have the same players and the same people come back year after years, you understand the dynamics of everybody, how they tick, both on the ice and off the ice. So I'd love to be given the opportunity to come back here next year and guide these young men with the experience to take a step. And you've got a great young core. I mean, Rubric and Zada and Gallianov and Waslin, and our young guys Creed and Hotless, and you look at the defensemen. We've got a bright future ahead here in Niagara, and if we can find a way to try to keep this intact and add a few pieces, I think hockey is going to be bright in this area. So that gives me a lot of faith, because I know that the fans deserve it. I know the city really wants it here, and the support of the mayor in the city, the support of the business constituents, everybody that had a hand in getting us to this. I mean, I just feel extremely grateful to be a part of it. And last but not least, outside of the hockey and my role, as a father, which is the most important thing, to be able to raise my 2 kids and watch them see their father have a little bit of success, is just a little bit inspiring. That hopefully they were able to see what type of work ethic it takes just to have a little bit of taste of success, and that makes me proud as a father. And hopefully I was able to try to leave those same lessons with the kids on our team. So like I said, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I think we did everything we possibly could, and when I look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day, I know I can hold my head up high.
Thanks so much for all the time this season, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brandon.